What's up? I didn't expect y'all to be on here so fast. Hold on. Just let me get it shared. It's 8:44 p.m. Hell. Let's just share it on this. Why is this shit not working for this? Okay. 8:44. Baby, I'm drunk and I don't want to go home. That's going to resonate with somebody. Maybe somebody's getting drunk. Maybe somebody's drinking a lot, reminiscing about some times they had with you. Somebody may be a very strong player as well. Somebody may be a very strong player as well. Somebody may be a very strong player as well. Somebody may be a very strong player as well. Somebody may be a very yes, that it do sound like that sometimes. Hold on. All right, hold on, you guys. Just give me a minute. Somebody's, I feel like, give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off. Let it get, boy. Somebody's also wasting time. I feel like somebody's wasting time in a situation. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to progress any way that you want it to progress. It's not going to move you forward. It's not going to. It's not going to help you motion your needs. Does that make sense? Somebody's trying to motion their needs. Somebody's trying to move away from some bullshit. And I feel like you're wanting to know if something's for you. And I don't feel like it is. No, you can't read on my poker face. See, I told you, poker face is on, baby. Like, I gotta tell you, you have to put a poker face up on that shit. I'm just saying. All right. My poker face, poker. I can't hear the shit, so. All right. So let me get ready, y'all. I done started channeling and shit. This thing ain't been on in days, so it's probably gonna fucking go fucking bananas. Oh, oh, oh. Show him what I got. Oh, 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 oh. I'll give him my. Show him what I got. Can't read my. No, he can't read on my poker face. Somebody pokering it around. I'm just saying. Somebody ain't. Somebody ain't happy in a situation, but they're not ready to move the fuck on. Somebody doesn't want to move. It's kind of like, move, bitch, get out the way. You ain't moving. You ain't allowing yourself to break free from something. And I feel like you need this transformation. You're holding on to bondages. Yeah, see, Ace of Pentacles is here. You're holding on to bondages that are, it's not even making you happy. You're having to wear a mask. You're having to wear that poker face every fucking where you go, if that makes sense. You're having to keep things secretive. Somebody's having to keep things secretive. Somebody's not allowing themselves to fully be happy because you're holding on to a security blanket. You're holding on to a woven piece of glass. Does that make sense? And eventually that woven piece of glass is going to bite your ass. It's going to cut you the fuck open and you're going to have another wound that you're going to have to heal. So I do feel like somebody needs to move away from the brokenness. Somebody needs to move away from the harm as well. Maybe there's some type of harm. I'm hearing harm. So maybe there's some type of harm around you as well. Whether it be your relationship, whether it be your career. You guys remember, I am reading energy, so it doesn't fucking matter. Somebody's raising strength within inside of themselves. I feel like you're raising strength within inside of yourself. You're building a better community for yourself. You're building a better energetic energy field around you, your home, your children. You're realizing that things are changing around you. So it's like you're needing to build the fire up around you. Does that make sense? You're passionate about what you're doing, but you also see that things are changing within the energy. Like today, I was outside and I just felt a whole energy shift happen. It felt like a whole weight of bricks had been lifted off my shoulders. I felt for the past couple of days, especially with this full moon, I've been feeling real dense energy, like real. It's not really dark energy. It's just really heavy energy. And about I don't even know what time it was. I was outside. I was walking the dog, and all of a sudden it just like the veil lifted. If that makes sense. So I do feel like yes, it's a challenging time for you. Yes, it's certain things that are trying to step in your way, but I feel like your ancestors and guides kind of like they're being soldiers for you. They're standing up and making sure that their shit's blocked so that way you can walk the golden path that you've made for yourself. Does that make sense? Mother of Cups here. Listening more to your intuition, listening more to your somebody may be concerned. I'm hearing concerning acts, so maybe you need to worry about your own little concerning acts. That might blow up in your face. I'm just saying, something might blow up in your face. That's not for everybody. Do not allow that to trigger everybody, but something might blow up in somebody's face. Somebody's playing with a lot of fire, whether it be you, whether it be somebody else around you, whether it be a friend. Somebody is playing with fire that is going to blow right the fuck up in their face. So that shit's going to explode. I'm just going to say they're going to get energy burnt. I'm just saying. They shaking the meth bottle a little bit too close to the face. And I feel like you intuitively know this. You intuitively know that you're becoming stronger because you are looking out more for world peace. You're looking out for more world love. You're looking out for more world happiness, if that makes sense. You're wanting to bring everybody in together. And I feel like your guides, your ancestors, the universe is like they are watching you. It's like, you know how for a little while I was sitting there channeling, I'm watching you, that song. Well, the universe, God, creator, that motherfucker be watching you. And don't be sitting there saying I cuss and using God in the same sentence. You be sounding like my mama. And if you want to be like my mama, you just stay at our house. I'm just saying. So these are my words. Do not judge unless you be judged. Got that? The only person that can judge me is creator above. I'm just saying. I am my own me. I am my own person. I am my own fatality. Vitality. Not fatality, vitality. All right, so take that as you will. Somebody may be judging you around you as well, since I am bringing that up. Somebody around you may be judging you. Remember, nobody can judge you but yourself. Does that make sense? Only you can judge what it is that you're doing. If you feel like it's right, then do not allow anybody to stand in your way. Do not allow anybody to cross paths with you that is trying to judge you as well. So somebody is getting judged. And I know I get judged every day, and that's okay. I'm used to it. I'm just like, look, motherfucker, you can't judge me. But somebody needs to stand more in their strength in that area, gain more confidence in who you are, and gain more trust within who you are. So that way you can carry out your soul mission and your soul passion. Because I feel like you're very passionate about the spirit world. You're very passionate about learning things. You're very passionate about changing places, if that makes sense. You're wanting to move out of the materialistical world into the spiritual world. And that doesn't necessarily mean dying. I just feel like you're wanting to move away from 3D land and move more into 5D. You're wanting to ascend higher so that way you can congratulate yourself more. Does that make sense? So I do feel like you are doing that, but you need to quit worrying so much about what others think about you. You are your own vessel. You are your own self. Be more creative within your own self, and God made you this way. Creator made you this way for you to be your own self. Does that make sense? So I do feel like others are standing in your way that way, and I do feel like that's a block for you. But I feel like I hear generosity as well. So somebody may be going to be generosity with you to help show you that you are moving in the right path, and you are capable of giving readings the way that they need to be given, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm talking to another reader. So I do feel, or doing whatever it is that you need to do. Does that make sense? So I do feel like somebody's going to be very generous to you and help you move forward and help you remove that block of that judgment block. I'm actually seeing the judgment card, yes, but I feel like you're holding a lot of judgment on yourself. And I feel like that's punishment for yourself, if that makes sense. So I do feel like that veil of that punishment within inside of yourself is being lifted, and you're chronically I hear subdivision, so somebody may be moving into a subdivision, if that makes sense. You may be moving houses, if that makes sense. You may be moving states. You may be going out of state. I'm hearing Texas very strongly. Somebody may be moving to Texas. Somebody may be from Texas. All right. Yeah, you got the Justice card here. Transformation complete. You have found a lot of balance because of the broken road that you've been on, if that makes sense. Y'all know that song by Rascal Flatts. God bless the broken road. Take My Name is coming on. Somebody may be getting married formally for you. Son of Cups is coming out. Somebody may be coming in to offer you love. Okay. So I'm getting a couple of different situations here. Okay. God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. But I feel like you've been walking on broken glass for so long, kind of scared of love. Does that make sense? You know that song Bad at Love by Hastely? So that song is coming in, but Take My Name was on the Pandora just now, and I put that on just so that way I can have a little bit of energy going while I'm doing my reading. I didn't want to listen to meditation music, so I put on Pandora. But I feel like somebody is also today. I've been noticing a lot about twin flames. I actually did a post on TikTok about twin flames. It's only 15 seconds because I was guided to say twin flames, very important special message. You're coming in. These are very important couples that are coming together. It's because one of you is dark as fuck and one of you is light as fuck. Does that make sense? One of you is bringing more light to the darkness. So, and you guys know I don't like twin flames, but I have been guided to call it twin flames. Apparently, my divine counterpart, the person I've been working with, calls it twin flames. So there is an offer of love coming to you, but I feel like it's to bring the balance back in around you. Does that make sense? They see you going through some bullshit. They see you struggling. Somebody's struggling. So, and they're coming in to bring that balance. And I feel like you two are actually very telepathically. This is a strong ass fucking connection. If you're in the wave of twin flames, that is about to come together. That is about to be blessed. These twin flames are going to be very blessed. You are about to come into commitment, but don't rush. Don't rush. If that makes sense. Um, Fools jump in. I hear fools jump in. Take that as you will. So don't quite jump right into it, if that makes sense. But you are going to be the fool, and you are going to take a leap of faith, and you are going to be wearing your shiny armor as you take a leap of faith. Will not be a hidden relationship. Everybody will know about this relationship, if that makes sense. I'm seeing it like plastered everywhere. Pictures plastered everywhere. This may be I'm hearing lesbians. You may be biracial. This is not a standard relationship coming together. It's not boy, girl, white on white, black on black. This is biracial, or you're gay, lesbian, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a very unique relationship coming together, if that makes sense. So, especially here, this could be a biracial relationship coming together. But I'm taking that as dark and white coming together, if that makes sense. Take that as you will. But there is an offer of love coming in. Somebody is cherishing the memories. You have memories with this person, and I feel like it's like their brain is a Kodak. If that makes sense. They're going through the Kodak moments in their brain. So they are reminiscing on the past, but I feel like they're trying to figure out what they're going to say to you whenever they approach you. Does that make sense? They got so much love within inside of their heart. Because if you look, this cup is like bursting, like kind of like right there beside their heart. So I do feel like they got so much love for you, but I feel like whenever you were together or friends, or you may not even been in a relationship with this person, you may have just been friends. Like you may have not fully committed to this person in the past, if that makes sense. You may have just been friends with this person. But I feel like things took a turn for the worse right there at the end, and that's actually what made you two split apart and go different ways. Because I feel like I feel like the reason why y'all went different ways is because you two together couldn't learn certain lessons that you needed to go through, if that makes sense. As you ascend and as you become more spiritual, you have to completely understand each and every single lesson that you go through, each and every single burden that you go through. You have to understand that. So it's kind of like you have to learn the steps of the lessons. Does that make sense? It's kind of like going to rehab, as we like in spiritual rehab. I'm just saying. You have to go through certain steps to fully graduate that part of your ascension to move on to a stronger ascension. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like you went through steps rehab spiritual. I'm just saying, I don't know where I came up with rehab, spiritual rehab. I have no idea. I have no idea. So yes, growing does suck, but it's also awesome in the end because I feel like once you get through a certain step and you move up to that next step, then you see the advantages that you have amongst other people who are growing. Does that make sense? You're seeing other humans go through the same things that you've already been through, but you're understanding, look, you can't stand in their way, but you can't help them either. Does that make sense? They have to go through that certain lesson that they need to grow through so that way they can understand the maturity of spirituality. Does that make sense? Spirituality is a maturity. You have to be wise beyond knowledge to fully ascend into that higher lesson. It's like you got these glasses on and they're full of fucking flowers. You can't see through them bitches. But you're slowly wiping the flowers away. You're slowly wiping the burdens away. So that way you can fully open your eyes and see what is right, the abundance in front of you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? This abundance has already been put in front of you, but you were too programmed to what everybody else thought. You didn't allow the abundance to fully mature. Does that make sense? And I feel like this is a relationship, work, career, take it as you will. So I feel like this was a spiritual lesson that you needed to learn to also become stronger in your spell work, your energy work as well. Does that make sense? Because we got people throwing parasites everywhere. That's all dark magic is, fucking parasites. So I feel like you had to walk away from the relationship whenever it was there to go out and learn about what was being taught to you while you were friends in that relationship. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I didn't even get to smoke that cigarette. All right, let's see what else is coming out. What's up, y'all? You guys come over to YouTube. Come over to YouTube. Come over to YouTube. And I feel like as you're growing and as you're creating more of a balance for yourself, as you're creating more of alignment for yourself, as you're creating more of a partnership for yourself, if that makes sense, as you're creating more of a as you're creating more of a balance for yourself, is bringing that creativity of joy in. Does that make sense? It's like, okay, so look, do you see this card right here? There's a lot of darkness at the top, but at the bottom the sun is finally coming up. It's like the owl has been in this darkness for so long, but it has grown so much. Does that make sense? It has learned so many things. It's learned a lot of hardships. Yes, it has, but it's also learned that it can't bring the sun within the darkness. Does that make sense? If it keeps allowing the hardships to continue, if you keep holding on to the darkness, then you're not going to see the light. You're not going to see the blessings that you want for yourself. You're not going to receive the academic that you want for yourself, if that makes sense. Yes, academics is books, but your brain is also academic as well. Your brain is a learning processor, if that makes sense. So I feel like you, as you grow, your brain is expanding and you're unlocking more vessels, you're unlocking more with some neurons, neurological veins, nerves within your brain that is helping you It's kind of like, because your nerves within inside of your body. That is your communicators. That's what operates your chakras. That's what helps you feel. That's what helps you see. Your nerves is a major part of your body. You have nerves everywhere. So I feel like there's different things activating within your brain. And I don't know the specific thing that is the right name for it, which is okay. But there are certain parts of your brain that are activating, helping you become stronger, because your brain is what works everything in your body. So your nerves need to become stronger so that way you can become stronger to the energies that are coming towards you. So I feel like you're activating parts of your brain to help your neurosystem, your nerve system, to help you communicate more with creator and universe, to help you become more powerful, to help you withstand the heat that others are throwing at you. Does that make sense? I'll take that as you will. Yeah, you got the Mother of Wands coming out. Yeah. Okay, the Eight of Wands, the Tower, the Sun is here as well, and the Ten of Swords. So there is a huge ending happening because you are going through this greater shift within inside of your mind. Does that make sense? Your mind, to me, your mind is your ego. That is where everything is processed. That's where everything is damaged. That's where you have to think. That's what you got to process things in your mind to fully open your heart. Does that make sense? That's how you heal your heart. You have to fully open your mind and understand everything, so that way you can heal your heart, so that way you can learn to love again, so you can move away from the darkness. Does that make sense? And I don't know who needs to hear this, but there are certain people in here that need to hear this. So I do feel like there is a toxic situation that is ending for you, whether it be you living in darkness, whether you be doing shadow work, whether you be doing healing on yourself, whether it be a relationship ending. There is a tragic ending happening here, and it is bringing you your blessing kingdom. Does that make sense? It's bringing you news about a new show. I'm hearing news about a new show. So I feel like you're going to be putting on a new show for other people to help them understand more of the priorities in the spiritual world. Does that make sense? So as you communicate more clearly, and as you understand the processing of the communication, you are going to be opening your nerves endings and your chakras higher, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I know that doesn't make sense to people. Does it make sense? Hi, Rita. Readings are $25. You can PM me for those. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense by any means? Does that make sense? Had a falling out with a friend. He blocked me from his list of Facebook lives when will the day of justice arrive? Rita, if you want a reading, you need to PM me. They're $25. Does that make sense to you guys? So as you become more energetically evolved, because if you think about it, okay, so touch, the feel of touch, that is an energy. Get what I'm saying? The way you see things, that's an energy. You using magic, or you use sending out love to your twin flame, or telepathy to your twin flame, that is an energy. Your nerve system within your body is what helps your brain produce this energy field. Does that make sense? So as you're growing in and going through the spiritual rehab, because we all go through spiritual rehab, you're going through the 12 steps of learning your lessons. So as we say, okay, say we're right here at the bottom, say we're on the first step. I'm just saying. Say step 1 is year 1, step 2 is year 2, step 3. It doesn't matter which part of the steps you're at. You are ascending to a higher level, but your energy has to become stronger, which you have to open particles within inside of your brain to make your nerve system work stronger, so that way you can provide a stronger force field around you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. All right, take that as you will. But there's an ending happening and it's bringing blessings. And I don't know why I had to say it like that. I feel like somebody may be a doctor, somebody may know a lot about science. You may be going towards human design, if that makes sense. You may be, fixated on learning the human, what is it called, human templates. I hear human templates. You may be needing to learn the human templates, but you're going to have to learn certain names of the parts of the body to be able to organize the templates. Does that make sense? I don't even know why I got these cards out. I don't even fucking need them, dude. All right, so I do feel like your intuition right now is telling you to go with inside of yourself, go with inside of your mind, go with inside of your speakings, if that makes sense. Somebody may be needing to write things down right now. You may be having, and you guys remember, I'm not a doctor. You may have a lot of heart movement going on right now, a lot of heart activations coming in right now. That does mean that your twin flame is coming in. I have had a lot of heart chakra shit happening for the last for this full moon, like bam bam bam. Me and my twin flames been having a lot of telepathy happening between the two of you, the two of us. So it is almost time. This is a special time, twin flame activation. I'm just saying, these twin flames that are coming together right now, and you're going through the same things that I'm going through. You're very special to this world. It's time to move away from the darkness, or you won't make it through that darkness. So I want to let you know that now. I've had to talk to certain people around my house and try to tell them, look, you have to, because whenever I got activated, like I jumped right on into runes, I jumped right on into spells, I jumped right on into Mars, I jumped right on into ancient history. So that was, I needed to, because I knew that that's what and this is whenever I was on drugs. So, whenever you're on drugs, you're study, 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 baby. Let me study, 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 study. So, I was learning about different planets. I didn't actually come into human design or human templates till here recently, so I don't know a lot about that. I don't actually know a lot about astrology neither. But I do know, even though I don't talk about it a lot, I do know a lot about ancient history. So even though I don't talk about it a lot, like pyramids, they were actually healing centers. They were actually healing towers. Yes, there's people buried. There were different pyramids, I should say. There were burial pyramids, there were healing pyramids. So take that as you will. But as you evolve stronger and as you open these portals within inside of your mind, within inside of your ego, if that makes sense, because you have to open portals within inside of your ego to fully learn that lesson has been learned, so that way you can drop that part of the ego. Does that make sense? A lot of you guys are holding on to the ego and you're needing to move away from that ego. You're needing to break free from that ego so that way you can open a higher line of consciousness. Does that make sense? Spiritually with spirit, because no, I can't talk about this around my family because people just, they tell me I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? That so they're not ready and awakened enough to understand. But as the world evolves more, they still have lessons to go through, and I understand that. So with spirit, I've been telling them, look, we work with Christ conscious. If you want to do bad, you can go do bad at your own house. But in my house, you will do good or you will go the fuck on somewhere. So I've been telling people left and right, we work with Christ consciousness. We work with the heavens above and we work with the greater light of things. We don't do bad, because if you do bad, you get bad. You get that energy that you give out. So telepathically speaking, I am a spiritual teacher. I may not know the right words, but I am a spiritual teacher that way. And I feel like you're needing to adjust yourself more to understand the laws. Does that make sense? The karmic laws. There are 12 karmic laws. But you're also going to have to understand, I've been saying this ever since I awakened, there will only be one commandment because of how the world is. You get what you give. Everything else will be forgiven, but you will get what you give. And I do feel like people need to understand this more, because you're going through a very important shift. And I don't want you to stay in that lower dimension. I don't want you to stay in the darkness. I don't want you to stay in that negative pattern that you've been in for, I'm hearing 2 years. So somebody may be living in the darkness for 2 years. I don't want you to stay in that. I want you to ascend. Even if me and you got beef, I'm just saying, baby, I still want you to grow. I still want you to change. I still want you to succeed. I still want you to move forward. But I feel like you need to leave the negative situations alone. You need to quit playing with fire, because you're only bringing fire back to you. And I feel like that is a lesson that you need to learn, and that you need to change about yourself. And intuitively, you know this, but you're allowing your brain to act for you instead of your heart. Does that make sense? So you need to combine the two. You need to have a combination of the mind, body, and spirit. Does that make sense? You need to combine everything together instead of working with them separately. Take that as you will. That's not for everybody, but that is for select few. 3101 as I say that. All right. Anything else, Spirit? They say that's it. That's it. So, what's on the radio? Jam by Trey Songz, Ty Dolla $ign, and Jamie Foxx. So go jam out for a little bit. I will be back on later. Do not do unto others that you would not want to do unto you. Just saying. When you're ready. But you're not going to fly till you're ready, or until you understand the laws of nature. Take that as you will, dude. Peace.